What's up, everybody? I'm here with Tim Geddes. Now, Tim, before we introduce our guest, who absolutely needs zero introduction, I want you to know something.
Yeah.
Growing up, I was an overweight child.
Yes.
And watching this man do what he does for a living often made me wonder, why? Why do people do that? What makes a man want to fly through the air on a skate? Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tony Hawk.
Thank you.
How are you, sir?
Good, thanks.
Thanks so much for coming.
My
Tim
pleasure.
has a ton of questions for you
Yeah,
about
so-
your brand new game.
This is a bit surreal for me. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, probably one of the most defining things of my life, let alone video games, but just things, from the soundtrack to the gameplay to the experiences I had with my friends. Oh my God, it means so much to me. Watching you in the X Games all throughout my childhood and all everything, it's crazy to have you here right now. How excited are you for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5?
Oh, I'm out of my mind excited. I mean, you know, the idea that we get to relaunch the series and go back to our roots of what made it popular in the first place, and kind of picked up where we left off on the THPS side, and into the new technology with the online elements. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, I haven't been to an E3 in a few years, so
yeah, that must feel
like,
good.
Yeah, I feel like redemption here.
Is it as loud as you remember it being?
It's actually not as loud as I remember it.
It's not as loud as I remember it
Yeah,
either.
I mean, I remember it being like just volume wars at every booth.
Yeah,
and,
there's still a couple
this is
days.
manageable.
Well, I think everyone's playing nice today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll get
we'll see
loud.
what
as
happens
we go.
Thursday.
Yeah. So THPS coming back. What does that mean? Like, why is this not just a Tony Hawk something else? Project 8, you know what I mean? A different title. Why is it THPS? Are we getting classic mode back? Are we getting the 2-minute runs? Are we seeing familiar levels?
Yeah, that's exactly why we have it. It's called THPS. It's back to that type of gameplay. The same controls, same kind of challenges, and but the idea that we brought it to all the new architecture of the new consoles, and an online element that we never had before. You can create a level, have up to 20 people playing it at once from all over the world. I mean, that kind of stuff that wasn't possible when we left off the series there, and now we're embracing all that.
That's great, man. So from the classic Tony Hawk games, 1 through 4, what are your favorites?
If I had to choose 1 through 4, it would be 2.
2.
I think because that put us on the map of being a genre of video games.
It was the game changer. The manual, man, it did it.
Yeah, I mean, and also just the idea that's the one. You know, the first one we were still figuring it out.
Yeah.
It was solid, but the second one just brought us into a realm of recognition, and I think it put skateboarding on the map in a lot of ways, and I'm hugely proud of it.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely is true. I think that it's such an influential game to my generation of people, where I wasn't so much aware of skateboarding as a culture and as a thing until this game came, and I was like, I need to skateboard. And all my friends were the same way. Like, we need to do this and learn how to do it. I never got good, but it was still fun doing it, you know? And I remember the tech decks and all that stuff. And it's like, it was a whole thing. And Tony Hawk's Pro Skater being that kind of annual event of a new one coming out, I remember it being such a huge deal. And playing through those classic levels, what are your favorite levels?
Favorite levels? Wow.
He asked very in-depth questions.
I'm bad at associating which levels are in which game.
Yeah.
But off the top of my head, Downhill Jam was always fun for me because it had a big vert ramp, so I like to keep it real up on the vert ramp.
Yeah.
And it was also the first start to finish level we ever had. But in later games, I love Tokyo. I love Rio. Rio, where you kind of go around the plaza.
Yeah, you break through the fence and get that secret pole.
Yeah, and School too was awesome.
Yes. Yeah. See, I got to go with
which
Warehouse.
we brought into this game actually.
Is it the actual School too, or is it expanded upon?
It's the actual School.
Is Warehouse in this? Because I saw a bit in the trailer.
Yes.
And it looks a little different.
It's a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
But it's the same layout.
Yeah, that's great, man. Yeah. I'm really, really, really excited for it. You can just tell that that arcadey gameplay is back, and it's.
Speaking of Warehouse.
Oh yeah, there we go.
There
exactly. So I'm seeing a lot of things going on right
Tim,
now.
This is the one that I played with you, right? Is this Warehouse?
Yes. So we recently played a little bit of THPS HD.
Okay.
And I showed it for the first time.
In a random turn of irony, I'm not a huge gamer, but I work with these guys, and they're always talking about games. And Tim, when we found out he was going to talk to you, was like, you need to play as many Tony Hawk games as you possibly can.
Wow, okay.
Otherwise, you're going to sound like an idiot. And I told him I'm going to sound like an idiot no matter what. That's just going to happen. But yeah, stepping in and playing this, I mean, it's a blast. And I can understand, but he made me play Warehouse for the first time, and I'm like, it just looks so dangerous in a good way, in a fun way.
I never really thought of it that way.
Well, you're smashing through glass and you're trying to chain combos.
True.
It's all the same thing.
Well, I really like the recovery time in my video game character. more than the human
real life?
character. Yeah, because when I get hurt and there's blood coming out of my head and whatever, it's usually a few weeks at least before I get on my skateboard. And this one, you just pick it right back
you
up.
hit X a lot, and it happens.
That's always been a big plus.
So how cool is it seeing your kid in these games now?
It's super exciting. I mean, he's successful in his own right. He's kind of has his own path, and he's already an established professional. So I thought he might hesitate to wanting to do something like this, and the request came from the fans. It didn't really come from me first.
Yeah.
So when I asked him, I thought that maybe he would be, a little wary of it, and he was into it. He was really happy.
That's awesome. So what's new about this then? Like, we know it's going to be based on the classic games, but what are the new elements we can look forward to?
Well, the online play is huge. The idea that you can create levels and those will live in the online community and people can come in and play from all over the world. That's a huge bonus for us. Other than that, the same controls that you're used to. There's a few little extras. You can shoot projectiles. You can light things on fire and things like that. But I think it's gonna bring the same gameplay and the same feel to the fans of the original series.
That's great. So in terms of what are your favorite? What do you think makes a Tony Hawk's Pro Skater game?
Wow, that's a loaded question. What makes it? The creativity, the idea that you can make your own style. You play in your own style, but still do the challenges. That it is constantly challenging. That you can keep coming back to the same levels and trying all new combos and all new transfers and things like that, and the soundtrack.
Awesome. Do you know what are the announced skaters that are going to be in this game so far?
I do. Yes.
Oh, what are they?
Well, we brought back
mind
Andrew
sharing
Reynolds.
That with us?
What's that? We brought back Andrew Reynolds.
Awesome.
We have Riley Hawk, of course. Yes. We have David Gonzalez. We have Nigel Houston, Aaron Homoki, Jaws, who's considered doing the biggest kind of drops these days. Lizzie Armanto, who I think is the best transition female skater around, and Letitia Buffoni, who's also an accomplished street skater.
Great, that's awesome. And so, when you play, do you usually play as yourself or do you play as someone else?
Well, I'm very used to my my special tricks.
Yes.
So
naturally.
I usually play as my character. I'm not going to say I play with myself, but I play as my character. And because inevitably people want to challenge me, and so I got to pick my character and know all my special moves.
Yeah, definitely. That's awesome, man. So playing this game, does it feel right to you? Have you played this new one yet?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Awesome. Does it feel
just
right?
This morning. In fact, I just put together a combo at the barracks this morning and posted it online. So you can see how I play if you look at my Instagram, and probably people who are very avid fans of the series are going to say, he sucks, I'm better than him.
Do you feel like you're good, though? Do you feel like you're good at this game?
I'm good. I'm not exceptional.
Yeah. Have you seen like high-level play where people are just insanely good?
Yes.
Like, it's insane,
impressive.
Man.
Yeah, I mean,
it really is.
Million-point combos. Like, that stuff is amazing to me.
So are we sticking with the theme here where levels are based on the different cities and stuff? Like, do you think we can expect to see some classic locales?
Yeah, you'll see there's a couple of new levels, but a couple of the old favorites, like this one right here.
Yeah. Man, this makes me so excited to look at.
I'm going to throw this out there. Have you tried yoga as a pastime?
I haven't.
It's very restorative.
You know what? It's more it's being active and constantly skating that's kept me in shape, and that's kept me limber.
You're in ridiculously good shape.
Maybe if I stop skating, then I'll take it up, but not at this point.
I recommend it. My wife likes it for me.
Okay.
It's a very I mean, you're very tall. I'm a little on the shorter side. We're sitting down, but it's a very lengthening thing, very restorative.
And according to you, safer.
It is. I've had only one accident in yoga.
Okay,
But it was mostly me just accidentally looking at someone else that I shouldn't have been looking at while my wife was doing yoga next to me.
Oh, there you go. All right.
That's probably the most dangerous thing on the planet.
Yeah, that's far more dangerous than skating for me. So.
Yeah.
Well, in the spirit of like looking back at the older games, what are some of your favorite memories that Tony Hawk's Pro Skater has caused for you? Like whether it's E3 or like playing with people or whatever.
Well, it opened so many doors for me just in terms of a career and other opportunities, not just skating, but being able to do other passions. I think one of the coolest things is I was at an award show. I can't remember what Teen Choice Awards, something like that. And I went into the green room, and Mike Tyson was sitting on a couch alone. And all these people are doing all the other things.
Yeah.
And so I sat down next to Mike Tyson, and I was like, hey, what's up, Mike? I'm Tony. He's like, Tony Hawk, you're the game thing. And he started freaking out with his fingers. Like, that's pretty awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite, like, wow moments.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Oh, no, I met Mike Tyson once. Guarantee he doesn't remember who I am.
Yeah.
It's mostly because as he was walking by me at Comic-Con, I was like, Iron Mike. And he was like, yes, that is my name.
Yeah.
Now, he was super cool. Yeah, I mean, it's got to be crazy because you've been in the public eye for so long, and this game has helped do that. Is there ever an end in sight for you? Do you ever think, I'm going to retire, I'm done, I'm good, I don't need to come to these shows anymore?
Hanging up the deck.
I'm having too much fun. I can't,
Yeah.
you know, it's not an obligation. I'm passionate about it. I love the game. I still love skating as much as ever. So if I feel like I'm just going through the motions, and especially if I feel like I'm just forcing it, then I'm not going to do it. You know what I mean? I couldn't do it for the sake of just being a job.
Yeah.
Not for me.
How do you feel about the state of skateboarding right now? Are you happy where it's at? Like, do you feel that, like, after Tony Hawk's Pro Skater and after all these things, it was elevated to such a high level? Do you think it's kind of kept going from there?
I think so, yeah. I think that skating has gotten, well, it's bigger than ever. It's definitely a mainstay in terms of pop culture for what kids choose to do as an activity. You know, it's more popular than Little League these days. So,
oh, wow.
You know, the fact that we're bigger than the American pastime, that says something.
That definitely says
and
something.
I see a huge global growth in terms of other countries. I mean, there's a skate scene in Ethiopia. There's one in Cambodia. There's one in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
And other first world countries as well. So I think skateboarding is in a good place for sure.
That's awesome. What is your reaction to the people's reaction to this game announcement?
Let me break that question down for a second. How was your reaction to other people's
reaction, my reaction
to you?
It's been very exciting.
Yeah.
I love sharing it. You know, in fact, I kind of go rogue with what I share about the game.
Good.
Much to Activision's
Much appreciated.
dismay. But yeah, it's really exciting, and I can see fans of the original series are really embracing it.
Yeah.
You know,
that's definitely.
and people
exciting.
think like, why don't you do the skate control scheme? Well, because this is THPS.
Yeah, exactly, man. Yeah. Do you have any thoughts on the skate franchise?
I thought it was cool that we finally had some competition, and
Yeah.
that it made skateboarding a genre, not just THPS, but it actually made skateboarding a genre of video games. It definitely split the market.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the reason why we've been on hiatus for a while for both of us.
Yeah.
But I'm so stoked to bring it back where it started.
Yeah, definitely, man. I am so excited to play this game. Do we have any idea of when it's coming out, what systems it's going to come out on, any of that stuff?
Well, new gen consoles first.
Cool.
And I know when it's coming out, but they won't let me say when it's coming
secrets.
out.
Gotcha.
You could just mouth it to me
This
if you
year.
like.
This
and
year.
No one's
and
watching.
then I hesitate to say older consoles, but
Yeah.
you know,
The
360,
PS3,
PS3,
360.
shortly after that.
Yeah. That's really
Is
cool.
that vague enough?
No, it's perfect.
It's as vague as it's perfectly vague. Thank you
Okay,
so much
good.
for that.
All right.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kevin just said something in my ear.
Okay,
As I was
yeah.
about to ask a question, I didn't actually. Kevin, say that again, please. We'll all hold for you. What his favorite trick is? What's your favorite trick in the game? How many? Let me ask you this: is there a question no one's ever asked you before? 'Cause I have
I'm
to
sure there
imagine
are. I can't just dig down and.
You probably get this question a lot, which is my favorite dumb question to ask someone. Have you played more of the game than you think you've skated in real life?
No.
No, not nearly,
No,
right?
Not at all.
Yeah,
And
I would
there's no
assume
way.
not.
I watch people ask professional athletes that all the time, like, oh, do you play yourself in Madden or whatever? And they're always like, yeah, I play myself, but not nearly as much as
I actually do
playing
my
the
The
real
real
game.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But you asked me what the favorite trick is. One of my favorite tricks through the years has been an ollie 540, like an ollie McTwist without grabbing, because I feel like that changed the landscape of how you can control the skateboard on your feet without actually holding onto it.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. So how many tricks can you credit to your name? Estimate.
I don't know.
You just don't even know?
No, I don't know.
Man, that's crazy.
It's weird because now new tricks are just combinations of old tricks, so it's
Yeah.
hard to claim ownership
it.
over any trick.
Got it.
And I hesitate to claim ownership over tricks anyway, because it's just like it's always been a collective effort.
Yeah.
To,
It's all
to
adding
keep
upon
pushing
itself
it up.
to create something.
Yeah.
Man, that's
I got to name my fair share of tricks. That's pretty cool.
Good. So did you come up with the McTwist?
No.
Okay. Who came up with the McTwist? Because that
Mike
guy.
McGill.
He deserves a high five for sure.
Mike McGill deserves a high five.
Now, I'm going to ask the obvious question, which I'm sure everyone at home is asking. What is a McTwist?
It's a 1.5 spin with sort of a half somersault, grabbing mute.
Everyone in the comments was just like, no shit, Nick. See, no shit. I'm just doing that for you guys. I knew exactly what it was. I know what a McDouble is also.
The McDouble.
Yeah.
I'm a big
I've
fan
had a couple of those.
Yes.
In my life. Tim, what's your favorite trick? I feel like we've been hammering questions at Tony for the last 25 minutes.
I was always a big fan of McTwist.
Yeah.
McTwist is like kind of, well, I can't do it, but it's my favorite trick.
Have you been on a skateboard before?
I have been on a skateboard many times. I'm very bad at it.
Let's break this down for a second.
Yes.
Scale of 1 to 10 compared to Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
Are you good at anything?
No, probably not anything.
No.
Yeah.
You're pretty good. Your on-camera hosting is not bad.
I'm all right.
But no one's naming, like, if you're flipping a mic around, no one's going to name that after you.
Yeah. I always had a problem on the skateboard where I didn't do it right, where my foot would be in the wrong place, which I hear is called Mongo.
Oh, well, that means you push with the other foot.
I push with my right foot, and then I put it in front,
right,
which caused a lot of problems back in the day for me.
Yeah, that is fodder for being made fun of quite a bit.
Exactly. And I definitely did. But so going back to the game for a second, I brought it up earlier. The soundtracks, they've always been such a key thing to me and like a big part of the experience. Do you have anything yet like chosen for the soundtracks? Or
we do have some songs chosen for sure.
So how does that process work of like choosing who gets to be in the game?
Do you get to sit with the Spotify playlist and just be like, no, yes,
well,
no?
I'm so steeped in skate history that I really enjoy what the soundtrack to my growing up in skate parks was, and that was early punk rock.
Yep.
So, and I still feel like there's so much of that to draw from. So I've definitely put my share of suggestions in, and it's all about trying to clear the rights to the music, and that's become way harder than ever because no one's making money from selling music anymore. So it's like licensing and whatnot. But there have been a few that I put in there. There have been a few that sort of have fallen on us, and there's been a couple of like bands on Twitter have begged me.
Yeah.
And I will go listening, and a couple of them are actually right along the lines of what we're looking for. So
that's awesome, man.
That's
the thing with this new age of the internet and Twitter and all that stuff. So it sounds like you're pretty active on Instagram.
I try to be. Oh yeah, definitely on social media. But in terms of the soundtrack, I'm active as well.
Yeah, that's great though. That's great. But how has being able to talk to the fans directly? How has that changed kind of what you do and how you do it?
Wow. It's definitely given me thicker skin.
Yeah, because there's no buffer anymore, right? Now they can tell you exactly what they think at any given time.
Or just hurl insults at you all day. So
be nice to Tony Hawk.
Yeah, I'm just numb to the whole "you're old" comment. That doesn't affect me anymore.
Oh, I get that all the time.
Yeah.
At least you have all your hair. See, when you start getting this, that's when they really start throwing it out. Plus, I hang out with a guy that's 10 years younger than me.
But immediate feedback is really crucial,
Yeah.
And it's funny because there's some things that you think maybe I should hold out on that or hold back on it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like I do want to share it, good or bad.
Yep.
I welcome the feedback, and I'm not going to go like backtracking and deleting and things like that. It's like it's out there for you to see, and I put it out there, so I stand by it.
That's awesome. So in terms of the mechanics, getting a little more into the nitty-gritty of the game, is the revert going to be in this? Because this was Tony Hawk 3. Awesome. Great. Is the spine transfer that was introduced in 4?
That's still debatable.
Okay, TBD? All right, I want it. If you could personally tell somebody that Tim Geddes wants the spine transfer, I would appreciate that.
Let's just say that I'm in your camp.
Yeah,
they put me here as a buffer because he was going to start getting closer and closer and closer to you.
I have this whole
probably
personal
steal your
wish
phone
list
to go through your email and figure out what is and is not in the game.
But spine transfer is definitely a topic of debate.
Cool. That's awesome. Is there any feature that like you want to see that isn't necessarily in it yet, but that you want to see come out, like maybe the caveman or something like that?
No, I'm happy with how it's come along.
Great.
I think that time will tell, and the fans will tell.
Yeah. What
we should add or take out.
So a big part of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater has been the secret characters. We had Spider-Man, Wolverine, Darth Maul, and obviously the classics Officer Dick and the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater exclusive characters. Are we going to see something like that maybe?
Yes.
That is exciting. I love that.
I'm very excited.
I can't tell you because
of course
they wouldn't be secrets
anymore.
anymore.
I like that though. What about Officer Dick though? Can you tell me about Officer Dick?
I can't say.
And when's it come out again? Okay. Sometimes I like to throw that back out, just see if that's changed at all. You cannot tell us the release date still, right?
I can't.
That hasn't changed in the last 15 minutes?
No, not. Well,
no?
I'll check my phone.
Is she,
I'll see.
No? Can't say anything about that? Okay. You've been smiling over there, which is really nice. So she's like, no. But I can tell that in the back of your mind, you're like, get him off stage right now. Get him to the next appointment with a reputable media outlet. Yes,
Wow.
exactly.
So Tony, besides Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, is there any other games that you're into playing?
Well, these days I have kids and so many responsibilities. It's really hard to find
Yeah.
time to just play at my leisure. It's more just phone games.
Yep.
But my daughter plays Destiny. She's 6.
Oh, Destiny. Okay.
And
Oh, wow.
She's 6 and she plays Destiny?
Yeah.
Wow.
Not Destiny. Infinity. Sorry.
Oh,
Disney Infinity.
I was like, wow.
Gotcha.
She's like a genius.
No, that because
I
they're
can't even play
you know why? Because they're right next to each other.
Oh,
in the
and your son
library,
plays Destiny?
and all the other kids play Destiny.
Yeah.
So
I mean, she probably will eventually dabble in Destiny, but for right now,
she
Infinity's
might.
probably a
No,
little more
she's not
her speed.
really interested. She kind of watches like, really? That's what they're doing?
Yeah.
What's that?
I don't get the game either. I don't.
No, so-
Alfredo over there is huge into it, but I don't understand Destiny that well.
Yeah.
So like if something gets tricky in Infinity,
Yeah.
Yes.
I have to finish it
You
for
swoop
her.
in there.
So if you came into my house at any given point, I'd be playing as Brave.
Yeah.
Doing
That's
some
awesome.
challenge.
That's great.
And we have a good friend of ours, great friend of ours, Mr. Hunter Pence, who plays for the San Francisco Giants. He claims that playing video games like fighters or games that require a lot of skill help him on the field. Have you noticed that at all ever?
No.
No. Okay. So you're saying
It gives me a false sense of recovery
really?
that I could just slam and hit my head and get right back up.
Because my hope was that if I play enough of this new one, I will eventually be able to at least jog at a light pace without dying.
That'll work for you.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get the heart up a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We just
That'll
have
be
a
good.
few more minutes left.
Okay.
Tim, do you have any last questions?
Let's see. I mean, let's
You got to dig deep. You're never going to see him again.
Let's go more into the skateboarding aspect of it then. You're talking a lot about the like falling and like blood and stuff. Is that a common thing? And how do you get over that, the fear of getting hurt?
Well, there's always the fear of getting hurt. It's more your approach to skating. If you approach it with confidence and you know you're capable of doing whatever it is you set out to do, you're more likely to do it and
Yeah.
not get hurt. If you go with an approach of, not sure how this is going to happen or what's going to happen here, you're going to get hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's definitely part of skating, learning, falling and learning, and that a lot of times separates the people who take it seriously or not.
Mhm.
I mean, after your first injury, that's sort of the deciding factor. Like, are you going to continue with this? Do you love it that much that you'll push through this injury? I've pushed through probably more injuries than I should have.
Yeah.
And still here to talk about it, so it's a blast.
Yeah, that's good, man. That's
Oh.
really great.
My God. I want to see the footage one more time. Kevin, can we pull the footage up one more time? Kevin, can you hear me? Because there was a couple elements in here that stood out to me. Not this. This is pretty common.
Here we go, yeah.
Okay.
All right, cool. So the wall ride's back.
Oh, yeah,
That's
wall
cool.
rides there.
Awesome.
I want to just break this down real quick. We only have a few more minutes left.
Yeah. So
I saw
spoiler alert, I'm going to assume there's a secret tape that was up in the breakable glass over the half pipe.
Yeah, and the letters of skate, the combo, and
Yep.
the time challenges. Yeah,
Yeah.
all the classic modes.
Yeah. So I like that this looks kind of like a mix between hangar and warehouse together.
Yes, and then here's the school.
School, yeah.
Has there always been a power grid above a school like that? That's that right there.
There
seems-
has been, but it didn't actually electrify your board.
There you
before.
go. Love
Okay,
that.
so that's what's happening. So what's going on with the electricity right now?
Well, it'll let you access different modes, different tricks, and better scores.
Cool. And then
I'm a big fan of the fire.
what's the fire do?
I want to leave things on fire as I skate by them in real life. So
Does the fire like hurt you at all?
no,
Like when it just made the big one? All right.
no, you just blaze a trail.
Cool.
See what I did there?
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. All right, so here we go again.
Sorry, I'm telling Kevin in my ear. Kevin went from screaming loud in my ear to a little mouse quiet, which is really uncommon for him.
Uh-huh.
Whoa, there it is. Jesus, Kev. You guys can't hear that, but that sounded like chaos.
Yeah, man, I'm really excited for this. Like, again, the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater games have a very special place in my heart, and like seeing this brings me back. Like, I just want to play right now. I want it in my hand. I have the muscle memory of like the combos,
Yeah.
especially in warehouse, of like jumping
Okay.
down into the ollie, grinding on the rail, doing the whole thing.
Yeah, I have kind of a default trick set that
Yeah.
I as soon as I get the new build, I'm on that, and it's like, all right, this feels
Yeah.
like it used to.
Well,
It's one
Tony,
of those games where you get in the zone.
sorry to
Go for
interrupt
it.
you,
Go
Tim,
for
but
it,
we
Nick.
are out of time. Tony, thanks so much for joining us.
yeah, thanks
It's
for
been a
having
pleasure to meet you.
me. All right, you too.
Thank you so much.